All right, all right. Excuse me. Good evening, good evening, good evening to every last one of you. Welcome to the show. Um, we are here with another update, and we're gonna hear from a family member of a story that I did. As I look at my videos, it said I did this story about a month ago. Some of y'all may remember it. Some of y'all probably don't know what the story is. You know, Nakeda, I think you can hear me. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to give people an introduction of a refreshment of the story. Then I'm going to bring you in to talk because a lot of people probably don't know this story, but a lot of people who have been following me probably do know the story. So you can't hear me, but you can't talk right now because I ain't let you up yet. Uh, so I see you nod your head, so you can't hear me. Okay, dear. So let me bring everybody up to part of the story. And when I get through, then I will bring you right on in there, and we'll let you tell your story. All right. So just hang tight for me. All right. And the key is in the background. She's waiting. Somebody said, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do my backup copy because I know it's going to start doing all that stupid crap with the dropping frames and all that. All right. So for those of you who has not been following this story, let me give you a little teaser what the story is about. As a matter of fact, let's pull this up real quick. All right, for those who remember the story, we had a young man by the name of ANDREZ Smith II. He was 12 years old, and y'all remember he was with his granddaddy, ANDREZ Martina, who you see behind me. And the story goes like this: ANDREZ went and picked up Andre and his brother to spend the night at the house with him. The sources said he went and got him because he wanted to reconnect with him and he was going to get them school supplies. Well, as the story turns out, somehow ANDREZ believed Andre stole money from him. And instead of him just talking to him as a 12-year-old to learn him about the ways of stealing, if the young man had did it, this grown-ass man went to beating on this boy. And we talking about what the sources say: sledgehammer, cane, I think a hanger was one, a belt. It seemed like he found everything. Andre tried to get away, but ANDREZ chased him down, drug her back into the house, and just beat this boy senseless. And not only that, he hit the other brother. All right. They say that he beat the boy so bad that skin was flapping. If I'm not mistaken, if I got it right, the skin was flapping and a part of his skull was showing or something like that. And when I bring Nakeda in, she could tell us more about that. You know, this is a sick story. All right. And I think a few of us YouTubers brought it into the light. All right. But now, let me not explain it to y'all. Let me let y'all hear for yourself. And we're going to bring the mom in and we're going to let her tell. Now, be advised, when I do bring her in, considering this is an ongoing investigation, there's only so much she could talk about, you know. So whatever she can't talk about, she will let me know. Whatever she can talk about, she's going to have the freedom of speech and tell us what's really going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a refresher, here's the story right here.
Beaten to death with a sledgehammer by his own. Prosecutors say a Milwaukee boy beaten to death with a sledgehammer by his own grandfather.
Today, prosecutors charged the 53-year-old suspect in connection to the grisly death of ANDREZ.
53 years old, beating on this 12-year-old boy like he a grown-ass man.
Smith. Fox 6's Aaron Maben live at the Milwaukee County Courthouse with the horrific details revealed just hours ago. Aaron.
Ben and Mary, prosecutors say ANDREZ Smith was struck repeatedly with a sledgehammer, cane, and other items. Today, his grandfather was charged in connection to his
sledgehammer, cane, and other items. Just listen to this shit.
Death, and we want to warn you, details in this case are extremely disturbing.
His cries wasn't heard, and now he gone. He gone. Baby gone.
Heartbreak from Nakeda Martina, the mother of 12-year-old ANDREZ Smith II, who died Sunday after prosecutors say he was violently beaten by his grandfather at a Milwaukee home.
Andre was sweet as pie. He was so kind.
Tuesday, 53-year-old ANDREZ Martina was charged in the killing of his grandson. Prosecutors say the beating began after Martina accused the boy of stealing his money. Court documents say Smith and his younger brother were at a sleepover at their grandfather's house when the accusations over the stolen money began. Smith's younger brother told authorities they were struck with a mallet, sledgehammer, a coat rack, and a cane. The medical examiner's office said Smith suffered a severe skull fracture, consistent with multiple blunt force blows to the head. The middle school student died at Children's Wisconsin.
He had to kill my baby.
Prosecutors say Martina told police he didn't remember using a sledgehammer and admitted to losing control. Meanwhile, Nakeda Martina is mourning the loss of her son, allegedly at the hands of her father.
It's not right. I ain't slept or ate since they called me Sunday morning and said my child was dead. No mother want to get that phone call. He was only 12.
Nakeda Martina lives in Atlanta and drove up when she heard the news. She told me that she had been working to get custody of her son. And when her father talked to police during an interview, he told them that in 1989, he killed the boy. He also said that this incident lasted more than 5 hours. Reporting live at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, Aaron Maben, Fox 6 News.
Absolutely horrific. Aaron, thank you for that.
Oh, I forgot about that. He beat that boy for 5 hours. What a UFO. Welcome to the show, brother. He beat that boy for 5 hours. And on top of that, he was convicted of another crime where he killed another child. What the fuck? So what's really going on with this dude? All right. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know the story, you just got the story right there. For those of you who've been following the story, you are getting a refresher of the story. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring the mom in right now. And we're going to let Keda speak. So let me bring her in. Hey, dear, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Let me set this up. All right. Now, you can choose to keep the camera on if you want to. Or you can cut it off. That's totally up to you.
It's fine. I don't care.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mother of ANDREZ Smith II. Nakeda, well, I'm gonna say this, this has been a long interview wait because where you find my video, I'm sure you heard me say, hey, I want to talk to the mom, and see what's really going on. So I really appreciate you, your cousin, whoever it was, that found my video and sent it to you, so I'm glad that they found you and they found my video and they sent it to you. And for what you told me, you have showed other family members, you said, hey, they glad for stuff that I'm pointing out. So I really appreciate them as well. So, if it's safe to ask, dear, how you holding up right now?
I don't know. Usually, I'm really good at figuring things out and being strong. And right now, I just don't know. It's devastating.
You know, I can only imagine. You know, I would wish this on nobody, no dad or no mom, to hear somebody beat their child. You know, let alone people putting their hands on children. Period. Because it's one thing discipline, but it's another thing just straight up beating a child. You know, they're just two different things. You know, and I don't know everything with your dad, but I guess you will share that with us tonight. But first thing first, when I first talked to you, you was explaining to me about the situation of how your children ended up in Milwaukee, you know, because I think a couple people asking that question, like, she tried to gain custody of her children. How did she lose it? So you want to tell us about that? What happened with that?
Okay. First, I just want to say that I am the mother of ANDREZ Smith and Aston Smith. And second of all, I want to say that I never lost my kids. Milwaukee CPS never came into my home and took my children and said that I was unfit. Same thing applies in Georgia. And actually, Georgia CPS came to my home and said I am qualified to be a mother and a fit parent. So I had a hardship. Well, I don't want to confuse anybody, so I'll just kind of start at the beginning. In 2014, it was so much family drama involving my kids that I couldn't take it no more. My mother, unfortunately, she kind of brainwashed and mind fucked my dad's sister, and she kidnapped Aston. So it took me about 2 weeks to get Aston back from my auntie, and when I did, me, Andre, and Aston hightailed it out of Milwaukee. We stayed in St. Louis, for a few months, and then we ended up in Atlanta. So from September 2014 to November 2016, things were going pretty good until I, had a hardship. In October, I had a real bad fight with a supervisor at my job, and I was fired. As a result of me losing my job, I couldn't pay my bills. And instead of me, having Andre and Aston kind of ride that storm with me, I thought that I was keeping them safe by asking my mom if they could come there with their siblings that she already had. Going against my better judgment, now I regret that. I wish I would have just let my kids stick it out with me so they can keep seeing how strong their mom is, and it probably would have made them, tougher young men as well. So in December of 2016, I went to jail because in Georgia, they will arrest you if you have no insurance and no driver license. So I found that out the hard way. And while I sat in jail, my mother basically tricked me and took advantage of me. We had a conversation in January. I told her that, I still had my job, that I was going to get, stable housing, and it wasn't going to take me long. I just needed like a month or two tops. February, she filed guardianship, and March 2017, Wisconsin gave my kids to this lady after I begged them not. And like I said, that was in March 2017. So it had got so bad, when I came up there to visit in March, like I'm constantly, round trip visiting for my children. And the summer of 2017, my family basically tried to attack me. My mother refused to let me be around my kids. And, I just came, I was like 5-6 months pregnant with my now 4-year-old, well, should be 4 in December. But I came, for my daughter's 5th grade graduation. The family was not welcoming. They, they did keep Andre and Aston away from me until I just begged my mom, and she finally brought them. December 2017. October, she moved. She told the family, don't tell me where she at. She was trying to keep my kids from me. December, I found out where she was. And it was a lot of family drama going on. If I didn't walk through the door with a newborn in my hand, for sure my family would have attacked me. January, of 2018, the producers of Fix My Life reached out to me because early December, I had wrote a very heartfelt email. I really was desperate. I was just so consumed with the family drama and my kids getting pulled back and forth, and the family want to turn on me because my mom is just Her word is just everything. It's just written in gold or some shit. So I wrote Fix My Life. I came that Christmas. Me and my mother, we were filming in Atlanta, January 2018. Things kind of got a little bit better, but she wouldn't give me my kids. That was the whole purpose of me writing the show, because I've been going back and forth to court, back and forth to court. So the summer of 2018, my mother allowed my oldest child and Aston to come. That summer, she was getting Andre hospitalized, just trying to force this trauma on him, trying to make it seem like my child had so many problems. And he didn't.
Pause right there for a minute, because I did a couple of stories where somebody was doing that, creating problems that the child didn't have.
That's what she was doing.
So people are doing that, trying to create problems that the children don't have.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about those two stories, there was one white lady went and adopted a young girl out of I want to say Zimbabwe, but that's not it. It's another word. It's another word. She went and got a black girl from down there and claimed she had all these medical problems. Then I found another story where another lady had another boy and tried to make it seem like he had all these problems, saying had him going through all this. So now you the third person out of her that sit up there and done did this shit, you know. So, but you are acknowledging that was you on Fix My Life. That was you.
Yes.
Because somebody did send me the video, but I was like, I don't know if that was you or it's not.
Yes, that was me and my mother. And I was the one that reached out because I was desperate trying to get my kids.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
So the summer of 2018, after we went on Fix My Life, she had Andre hospitalized. She just had this agenda to collect these benefits for my kids. I know it's about money. It's about money. She's very money hungry. You know, I'm not trying to throw my mother under the bus, but wrong is wrong. You know, she ain't punched the clock since 2003 and got my kids sleeping on the floor over there. But collecting all that money for them. I think each one of my kids have some money coming into her household and they don't see it. They don't. So December 2018, you know, I've been getting cyber bullied, harassed, trolled, stand, favor hatered, all that by my little sister, Nia. She's not the kid's mother. She's my little sister. She also abused Andre and Aston. But they trolled me. I can't have anything good in my life. You know, they always want to try to take something about me or my kids and just make it so. Yo, kids, now you got to take me to court. All because I didn't buy her a Falcons jersey. So January 2019, I started the court process. My first court date was in March. This lady literally 24 hours before my court date went to the courthouse and falsified a restraining order against me in an attempt to further keep me from my kids. So went to court March. My legal team was applying that pressure because October, the judge did order for me to get my kids back. But because I was 8 months pregnant, I could not travel to that court date. So he just told me to refile and that, you know, he would pick it back up and basically grant me my kids. So that was October 2019. December 2019, my mother had my daughter calling me and harassing me for 2 weeks. I had just went into emergency C-section with my 7th child, November 29th. My daughter was calling me the 1st, the 2nd, all the way to the 15th. And I'm like, look, I just had a baby. It's Juliana's birthday. Just give me like 2-3 days. Give me a bag and I get on the highway. December 17th, I went to Milwaukee, got Andre and Aston. I had no knowledge that I was supposed to call children's court and say, hey, she gave me the kids back. You can start the termination. So because I was just so happy and just relieved, so like my kids, we were just happy and relieved to be together. It didn't dawn on me that I was supposed to make that call until last summer when me, Andre, and Aston call ourselves just trying to visit. We was just trying to visit his sister because, you know, her birthday is like 3 weeks before mine. So we was just going for a quick trip to visit. My 2 teenage sisters kind of volunteered to babysit for me when I was going to Vegas last year. So we were just going to Milwaukee for my little sisters and to see my daughter. I made it to my kids at 2 o'clock, July 25th. I watched Andre and Aston walk down to their grandma's house. Because I'm aware of the restraining order, I made sure I was not within violation and I was the appropriate amount of feet away from this lady residence.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my children walk in their house. They didn't come back out for about 15, 20 minutes. Then here come Nia, the aggressor, the angry bird. She's just a negative Nancy. She doesn't know how to, take or give constructive criticism. She's what some people will call a crack baby because, yes, my mother was on drugs when she was pregnant with her. So comes to me a block away, try to sucker punch me with my 8-month-old then baby in my hand. So I'm fighting this girl off of me in somebody's yard. Like I said, I was just, trying to visit my kids. My sister takes Andre and Aston to my mother's house. My mother comes down telling me why I'm there, I need to leave, cussing at me, recording me, just not making the situation better. I'm telling the kids to get in the car. My sister halfway down the street with them. Her and my mother telling the kids, don't leave with me. So I pull up in front of that fucking house. I ain't give a fuck about no restraining order, none of that shit. Kids, come on, let's go. Literally, my mother and my sister stopped me from getting my kids. My sister took a brick, bust my window. My mother called the police. They came. They arrested me because she told them about the restraining order. So I sat in jail, and I just got off the highway at like 11 o'clock in the morning, made it to my kids at 2, and was in the back of a cop car by 3. So because she told the police she wasn't going to be responsible for my vehicle because it was damaged, they towed it. So that Saturday and Sunday, my car sat in the tow yard. And then Monday, when I got it out, I had to pay $278 to replace my trunk window because at the time I had a 2013 Dodge Journey. After I repaired the window and got my car out the pound, I went to 7th District. What is y'all doing? I need a police escort. Please help me go get my kids. So they said they had a few calls to respond to ahead of mine and I would have to wait. So I had sat in that heat that Monday, July 27th, for about 4 or 5 hours.
Because they considered it a non-emergency, right?
Yep.
They do it down here in Memphis. I don't know why, when you get your shit broke into and all this stuff, they look at it as a non-emergency. So they're going to put that off on hold and try to get to something that's more potent or whatnot, which I think that's a crock of shit. I think you should treat every crime the same, because the motherfucker may still be in your house or anything, so why that's getting put off, because you're trying to find something more potent, anything can happen within the minutes or hours that you're waiting. So I know exactly what you're talking about on that part. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I was outside, back and forth in a police station in the heat, July 27, 2020. Begging them to take me over there to go get my kids. It was about, like I said, 4 or 5 hours of just back and forth on the phone. The police, whoever, sergeant, supervisor, and my mom. While I was being detained, she had let the kids go in my car and take some stuff out. So I was asking the police, like, can you just tell her, please give my kids and give the things that she took, like a debit card, my laptop, and my 3-year-old's tablet. She lied, refused to give me the thing, said she didn't have it, and she kept saying that the kids didn't want to come. Then, after me squirming at the police station for hours, she finally decides to tell them she has guardianship. So the police told me that I need to leave, they cannot help me, and take my issue. So yes, and it's just money. After being with me from December 19 to July 20. Come on now. That one, they ain't just come to spend a night or some shit, She gave my kids back. And then because she had got investigated, the same grandma who was at the crime scene, also an eyewitness, she is a very vindictive and very vile old lady. And she had been telling my friends, that she was getting my mom investigated, and it happened last year in June. So, I found out about my mom being investigated, and just in my right mind, she took my kids last summer to replace that money because literally she went to Social Security Administration July 27th and put her name down as Andre's payee. So while I'm at the police station begging for my kids, she
making money getting paid
back.
She getting paid off of getting benefits.
Yeah. And then I got proof because I just made it home Monday. up my own phone to contact a lot of, our first Georgia family and let them know about Andre. I saw text messages between Andre and my mom. And, he was asking for his siblings to come. And she said, they ain't coming till they're 18. She wants to keep my children until they're 18. She brainwashes them. She intimidates them. She coerces my children what they tell these workers that come out. And it's disgusting because look at what's going to happen now. Andre gone.
Yeah.
And Andre just got hit by a car on the 4th of July. My mama wasn't nowhere around. She wasn't supervising him.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there because that's one thing I brought up in one of my videos, because it seemed like it was some craziness. It's craziness. This whole story is crazy. It's a lot of, sound like it's a lot of dysfunction going on, and that's in a lot of family, Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, please get that thumbs up for your boy. We are talking to Nakeda, Andre Smith, mom. If I'm going to put this on my backup channel as well because I saw that it knocked me offline for a minute. So you can see the parts that it knocked me offline on. So you can see the whole thing when I put up on my backup channel. I want to talk about that real quick. So what allegedly did they say it happened when he got hit with that car? What did they say what happened? Because apparently nobody wasn't paying attention. Or what happened with that?
So no one was supervising Andre, first of all.
Obviously.
Exactly. Nobody was supervising him. And because his mother isn't allowed, quote unquote, at his residence, and his grandmother / guardian doesn't encourage or support me having communication with my kids, he was trying to meet me. And, it was late. It was late at night. Like I said, the guardian didn't even know he was trying to come and see me, wasn't supervising him, and bam, he got hit by a car because it was well after 9:30 at night. He was chocolate. Andre was a dark-skinned young man. You probably couldn't see him at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So, yes, it was the lack of supervision, the neglect. And I was in the street with Andre for half an hour before his guardian got there. And then literally within minutes, here comes her baby daddy, who eventually kills my child less than 8 weeks later.
Okay. That's a wow.
It's a lot. And
that is a lot.
That piece of shit was there when Andre got hit by a car. I seen it, I felt it. Like, he ain't right. Like, once a bad person, always a bad person, and then my mom just kept wanting to give this dude chances because he probably flashing some money or some pills in her face or something. Here she go hop into it like a moth to a flame. Have a little bit better control than that,
Right. So, Nakeda, tell me this. How did you get the news that Andre was hurt? And he was dead. Who brought the news to you?
What's so sad about what happened to my child? A child was there to witness what my son endured. So all these fucking adults around my kids, I found out about Andre through one of my kids. Yeah. And no adults, not my sister, not my mom. They still ain't said I'm sorry or anything about what happened to Andre and Aston.
Somebody asked a question. They said, did you ever try to take your mom to court to regain custody?
That's what the fuck I've been doing. I just tried to redo it again this year in June. Because she keep kicking it out. She keep telling me to drop the petition. And she keep lying, saying that I need all these parenting classes because the kids telling her I'm such a bad mom and she just don't feel safe with the kids being with me. So she keeps exaggerating and making false allegations to stretch this process out. I have literally been in children's court consecutively since 2013. Like I said, the last time I filed was literally just this summer. So I have been fighting pretty much my whole residency in Georgia to get my kids.
Well, wow.
It's that money demon, that money demon done kicked my door down so hard, and it's about money with my kids. Like I said, their guardian ain't had a job in over a decade while I'm down here in Georgia working my back off.
Again, I want to play something for you. It's this block. It's gonna block your face temporarily, but I'm gonna go to this timestamp real quick. I want to replay your voice on something. Shit, I can't see that. Hold on, let me Damn, I can't see that.
That he knew was actually very short.
Say nothing.
Would you like to make a statement? I'm in prison, first of all.
Man, get out of here, man.
Face additional charges.
Because he did something to that woman. I told y'all he.
Are not to possess any firearms or dangerous
What up, Brian?
To contact any of these people, even to say you're sorry, you may face additional charges.
I can't see.
And with that, sir, we'll get you a new court date.
Hi, Court. I would like to make a statement.
Okay, here we go. Here go the daughter.
I don't know how to unmute the Zoom.
Here go the daughter.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Ms. Martina.
I just want to tell the courts that my dad has hurt me my whole life. I loved him because he was my dad. I was gonna give you a chance, man, until last month when y'all told my kids what you did to me when I was a little girl.
Did not tell y'all when I first did this case.
I will never, ever forgive you or Alicia for what y'all put my baby through. You know I've been working hard to be better.
She said she's not gonna forgive him, and Alicia. I think Alicia is you. He had something against his daughter. That's why he did. Okay, I want to play that little part right there, Nakeda. You said your dad hurt you all your life, and you said he told your children what he did to you. You want to tell us what he used to do to you?
So yes, again, I just want to tell you thank you, and I appreciate you for pointing out things. You know, yes, he did hurt me. He sure did, and what happened to Andre was personal. You know, this man sexually and physically abused me when I was 10 and when I was 12, and then. And my mom thought it was a fucking genius moment to tell my kids what he did to me just in July.
He told your children that he molested you.
Yep, my 17-year-old and my 15-year-old. And he was being inappropriate with my 15-year-old. That's how the conversation even came up. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
Whoa. 15-year-old who? 15-year-old
Daughter.
Oh, so he was touching her too?
I hope he wasn't, but she told me he was giving her pedophile vibes.
Well, oh Jesus Christ. I really don't. I'm gonna say this right here. You know, a lot of these stories I call stuff right down the middle because you could just kind of hear it where it's going. You know.
Yep.
And when you said that, you know, you told my children what you did to me, I automatically knew that he molested you. And I think I did say that he may have physically abused you as well.
He did really bad. Like, he beat me so bad.
But now I had people ask me this question too, and I got you on live on Earl. Let me ask you this as well. Did Andre say anything that he touched him inappropriately? Because people asking that question too. Did he ever mention anything to you about he touched him inappropriately, anything like that?
He just said that he was scared of Granddad and that Granddad was weird but trying to be nice, giving him money. And I just told him, don't take it, stay away from him, you know.
Okay, so is this the reason why you didn't want him around your children, because of what he did to you?
Absolutely. And then because I just know his violent history with the family and with strangers and what he did to that man in the 80s. I don't think that was no child. You know, I just feel like his dumbass self done said that to try to make him seem so much scarier when really, nigga, you just told everybody you like to hurt kids.
That's my thing right there, you know, and I'm glad you're bringing it up. That's my thing, because
this is what I'm saying. People, you know, in the internet world and social media world, they kind of got some of the story, you know, bits and pieces. So it's like everybody could just kind of run off with it and think what they want to think. But help me understand, if this man went to prison for self-defense, how could he have a self-defense charge against a kid? That wasn't no child. Period. It's public record.
That right there, I don't get, because when they first said that he went to jail for killing another child, like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
I think that's just a tactic to just try to make it seem like he finna try to plead insanity or some bullshit. You know,
you think he's gonna do that?
tactic.
You think he's
Definitely.
gonna do
I think that's calculated. Because no, you can look up public record. It was self-defense while he, was in prison. They ain't have nothing to do with no child. How is self-defense if it was a child? You know what I'm saying?
Marquita, let me ask you this, if you can tell me, the lady which was his mom that he stayed with, was she really disabled like they claim she was?
Nope, that bitch ain't disabled. She fucking packed up and moved to Atlanta by herself in 2009. She be down here doing squats, watch Tamara Hall every day. That lady is not no damn disabled. And then what really hurts me even more about, man, let me tell you something. What even hurts me to my core so much about this is that she watched that shit from start to finish. That old bitch could have helped Andre and she didn't. She had my number. She could have called me. She could have called 911. I've seen her sit in my face and talk to people longer than what she told the police my child was beat in front of her.
So wait a minute.
It's a cop-out. She used that disabled as a scapegoat. So that bitch ain't disabled because she running around the family hiding right now. She ain't disabled.
You are telling us tonight ain't nothing wrong with that woman, that she could have saved your boy.
Because I got
she could have saved your boy.
Nope, I got proof she was hitting my kids with her cane. If you so disabled, how is you hitting my children with your cane?
Oh, God.
That's one of the reasons why she's not living with me right now. Yes, so she's lying. That old lady is fucking lying.
Because you know what?
It's unfortunate that this is my family, and I hate having to relive this and, keep talking about it.
I understand, and that's why I'm not going to keep you too long, because I know it's a trigger moment. I mean,
it's okay, because this is helping my son get justice.
It's a trigger moment for anybody who's going through this or whatnot. All right. So, because the question was asked, was she just that disabled that she couldn't dial 911? I said, damn, that's a good question.
She was not no damn disabled. This lady was just talking to Canadian film directors early this year trying to get a story done for her own little life. That lady ain't no damn disabled. She was just at Morehouse with me. Come on, man. She wasn't disabled.
Jesus
Christ. She's not disabled. Just like I said, last year, Andre and Aston told me that their granny was being mean and hitting them with her cane. And that's why I had to get her away from my kids last year. So, it's been a history of abuse, and it's all going to come out now. Unfortunately, thanks to Andre's death, it's all going to come out now.
And you told me when I first talked to you that y'all couldn't even review Andre's body. It was a closed casket.
It would have been an uproar if I would have let people view my child, because I just saw Andre. He just called me on my birthday. I just talked to him August 28th. Literally 24 hours before he was pronounced dead, I had just talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just physically saw him because he begged me to come up there and take him home on his sister's birthday, which was August 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Andre just jumped in my vehicle. Him and Aston said, "Go, Mom, go, Mom." And here come that guardian with the police face, shaking her head. I'm like, she gonna get me locked up, y'all. Just in July, when I was trying to make a run for it, because, Andre was laying in the street from hit by a car, the police called me. The Milwaukee police called my phone because, I hate that my kids, involved in so much grown shit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hate that when my sons was crying for help, that they daughter is taught to turn on me. So she called, their grandma said, "Oh, my mom's trying to take them to Atlanta." So she called the police. The police called my phone. They said, "What are your plans? The guardian wants you to drop the children off. If you do not, we will issue you a felony child custody interference charge and a hammer will be issued." So on my way to drop my children off to their guardian that they was begging to get away from, I stopped at 2 different police stations so they could hear my children cry out for their own selves. You hear it out their mouth. They turned us away. They said they couldn't do nothing, that I would have to go to family court, basically, what the other police did.
Nakeda, first of all, let me say this to you, dear. My people in the chat, they are issuing their condolences to you.
Thank you.
And And there's a lot in there that's been following me since day one, and they know my passion for this. You know, I don't get anything out of this. I do this for time. They'll teach us the arrow of the ways, you know. And if mom and dad couldn't do nothing with us, like in your situation, they will happily take us in till you got yourself together. Then, you know what I'm saying, bada bing, bada boom, you get your children back. You know, you had a support circle. But sadly, in this era, a lot of families is going through what you're going through. You know, everybody just want to tear everybody down. Nobody want to see nobody do better. Everybody's always talking, which you can't stop that, but everybody's always talking. You know, it's just a whole lot of fuckery that's going on. And it's sad that a lot of fuckery now is leading to death. And
It
the
is
children,
killing the kids.
right, and the children is paying for it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, just to kind of throw this out there, it was said that, well, I've seen it myself. My mother, she lied to the news reporter when they asked her about the 1989 murder. She said it was an accidental death. She didn't know anything about it. She lied. They did a standoff at her house. She was right there when they arrested that piece of shit. And yeah, we seen him shit during the duration of his prison sentence, getting on the school buses, going to visit him. So she knew exactly, you know, who this dude is, and it's sad to say, you know, I'm a product of Get Back. My daddy was shit trying to fuck my auntie. He was not interested in my mom, and it was just the bitterness. She kept chasing after him and kept getting pregnant. This man never been in the family picture. Just back and forth, coming, taking, hurting. You know, he never had a desire to be a daddy. He told me that shit when I was a teenager. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I need to stay away from your ass. Then just from what he did to me, you know, and then because of who he was, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm a child. Shit, I didn't know. You know, my mom was like, let it go. And, you know, she was putting it down my head, give him a chance. He shouldn't have had no more chances. You know what I'm saying? After he was doing what he did to me as a kid, then he comes in the picture all these years later and hurts my kids. And it was so fucked up is I haven't even seen him or talked to him since I was pregnant with the child he just killed.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wow.
So this man, like I said, had no regards, no desire to, you know, be that father figure. He ran off to Indiana and had to start a whole nother life out there. Another child, a wife, whatever the hell, whole life out there. Like, he just was in Milwaukee. He did not move back. He came down there to take advantage of his terminally ill grandmother. So it was a motive. He didn't have no good intentions. He always comes to Milwaukee to use and abuse. You know, that's what the devil do, come to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what he does every time he comes to Milwaukee.
Nakeda, shit, you know, there's a lot of info to take in, you know, and you have to understand I don't have any children, so there's, like I told you, whoa, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You know, so a lot of times.
I just really want to, you know, let it be known that I've made reports of abuse to 220 SAFE all year. And I called every week since Andre was hit by a car on July 4th. I also want to say that Andre and Aston's guardian allowed them to go with ANDREZ Martina, even though he is a convicted murderer and a felon. I have text messages that I asked this lady not to allow my kids around him. The Legal Aid Society and Alicia have been refusing to allow me to be reunited with my kids, even though I've been putting a lot of efforts in to prove myself worthy.
Help me understand something, though, because I keep getting these two people confused, and people in the chat room always correct me, you know. Which one is Alicia and what's the other one name?
Alicia, unfortunately, is my mother. She's the kid's guardian.
Okay.
And Cassandra Martina, you know, she's the mother of this man who just, you know, is a piece of shit in my eyes.
Because Alicia got on the news in one of them clips.
She put that mask on for everybody.
Yeah, you know, so that's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, and she, like I said, just wanted to make my son deaf about her She wanted to benefit off his death. She put up a GoFundMe in like 48 hours of him being pronounced dead. Even if it was for the funeral, it just rubbed me the wrong way because supposedly, apparently, allegedly, my son was killed.
This technology, I swear, technology, that's the mother. Can't get nothing straight. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, now it pops back up. Guys, this thing keeps doing that shit. And trust me, as soon as we get through with this, because I asked those questions y'all asked, and y'all want to hear the answers. So she did answer the questions. So as soon as we get through here, I'm going to upload it on the Chris Storm Show 2.0, where you see the whole thing without the hiccups. Because I don't know what's going on with this thing. You know, it'll do good, then it'll do bad, then it'll do good, do bad. And this is one show that I don't need it to do this, but I just looked over and saw that it almost knocked me offline again. So when we are through, I'm going to put this up on my 2.0 channel. You can see the whole thing without none of these hiccups going on, all right? So the two questions they asked, y'all asked in the chat. I did just ask her that. I'm not going to repeat it. Y'all just got to go watch the replay when I put it back up. But she did answer the questions. What I finna ask you, Nakeda? I had another question. You said in that court video when you talked to him, you said, I was going to let you back in.
Yeah, supervised. Hell
okay,
no.
Okay, yeah, because I want to know.
No.
I want to know what you mean by letting them back in.
No, see, because I wasn't really supposed to be so vocal, you know, in that initial court appearance. You know, I wasn't in the presence of my attorney, so I just let out a lot of emotion. You know, and I was like really just kind of persuaded by my mother. Excuse me, to give this dude a chance when I already had my mind set on it. Like, no, you know, he had his chance. Forget dude, I got a whole new dad and mom now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just toxic. You know, these are people in the family that are toxic, and unfortunately, you know, the toxicity of these people have cost my child his life and have cost Aston his innocence, and have forever scarred my 17-year-old, you know, who was there trying to get his brothers. So yeah, it's a lot, you know. It's a lot.
It is. I'm trying to soak all this in. As a
man,
I'm trying to soak all this in. Now, a lot of women in the chat make understand.
Oh yeah, no, I would like give him a chance, like me, as far as mother, daughter, like daughter, father, kind of. Not him just skipping over me, jumping to my kids. Fuck no. Like, that's just common sense to anybody. You wouldn't allow your kids around somebody you don't fuck with, or you don't feel safe around, or comfortable around, or trust. No. So
I'm with you on that.
I wouldn't let my kids, like I said, go with this dude. My mother should have respected my wishes too. But after I told her, keep dude away from my kids, she just basically, like you said, handed them right to him.
On the silver platter.
Yep. And she needed to be held responsible as well. Absolutely. You goddamn right. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, like I said, I'm not trying to throw my mama under the bus, even though we do not have the best mother-daughter relationship. Wrong is wrong. If Andre and Aston were in Atlanta and this piece of man shit did what he did to my kids and I was here, the first thing she would tell the police, she wasn't watching my grandbabies. She wasn't watching my grandbabies. She need to go to jail. Period. Period. She wasn't watching them. She wasn't watching them. Y'all need to lock her up. I could just hear her. Shit, she just had me locked up last summer. Just try to have me locked up in July.
So, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Because it had to be a point where everybody did get along at one point. So what broke the family chemistry down? If you could explain it.
And my family, you know, the chemistry just been off, you know. My mom is the original teen mom, you know. I was 14. She was 14, excuse me, when she had me. You know, so it was like growing up with a kid. And, you know, I became an adult pretty much at 7. And then when I got gang raped by 5 boys when I was 11, that kind of took the adult mind frame in my child mind to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to run away a lot. I
Okay.
didn't like my
Okay.
childhood with my mom.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I didn't like this lady when I was a child. I was excited and anxious to go with relatives, like especially the ones with nice houses and cook really good all the time. Like, come on now, that was a piece of heaven. I didn't like living with my mom. And what's so fucked up is Andre didn't either, because he ran away twice and the police had to assist her in finding my child.
When they found him 2 times, if you can answer that, where did they find him at?
The family kept it hush hush, so all I know is that she couldn't find him.
Wow.
Yep. And
Wow.
then just like it was hush hush when they just went over there. And I was told that Andre called that night and said something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they just be so tired of my kids. They just want to go put them off on anybody so my mom could go have her little weekend at the casino, that goddamn Potawatomi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my sister just be wanting to boot up with her boyfriend in her mama house. You know, my kids is taking up their space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was times where relatives would call me, oh, you know, Nia just dropped the boys off over here. Y'all, you know, y'all mama needed a break. Your sister was tired of yelling at them, whooping them. Just let my babies come home. Why the fuck this lady won't let my babies come home? They begging her, crying her. I'm begging her, crying to her, going to court like she telling me to, and she don't give them to me. Miss Van Zant got in her ass, told her to give them to me. You know what that lady said? No, she sent them to me. Miss Van Zant told her to her face, send her kids back. Now look where I'm at. Still trying to get my kids. One is dead.
Okay. You say Alicia still has custody, right? You said she still has custody, right? Of them? Guardianship. She had guardianship of them, right?
Yeah.
Somebody want to know where they are right now.
Unfortunately, they still in Milwaukee because legally she has guardianship. It only terminated when Andre was pronounced dead. So she was no longer his guardian once he was pronounced deceased. And the way this stupid ass system works and the law works, that once something is on bold letters on paper, there has to be a court process to change what's on that paper.
You said
my hands are forced, Mom. I'm forced, you know. I'm literally pushed back and forth between children's court and adult court. I'm trying to get my kids from my mama, and I'm also assisting with the criminal prosecution of my dad for killing Andre and abusing Aston.
Okay. You said in the news clip you reached out to Child Protective Service over how many times? I got a reason for asking because somebody in the chat room said something, and I don't really appreciate it, but they are free to say what they said. But considering every time I do these type of stories, what they say they've been through, for them to sit up there and say that, I don't like it. But, you know, I get them the freedom to say what they're going to say. So how many times did you reach out to CPS?
All year, probably every month, all year. From last year, July, all the way up to this year, I didn't talk to my kids until like March or April. And then when I did talk to my kids, they was telling me all these bad things that was happening to them. So I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing by reporting it. So, you know, it was some things going on with my teenage daughter. I reported it. Some things going on with my 5-year-old. I reported it. Especially Andre. You know, it was always something happening to him. He was always in punishment, timeout, whooping, corner, yelled at, hit, cuss, whoop. It was always him. Always. So my sister, Nia, she was beating on Andre so bad, I had to call police on her to get her off my child.
Oh, wow.
That's another reason why I was calling CPS, because when my mother would go kick it at the casino and just leave my children by themselves to be in the casino Potawatomi for hours, I was calling CPS. Ain't nobody watching my kids. My kids over here fighting each other on top of each other. Ain't nobody watching them.
You know what? I just thought about something. There's somebody in my chat room right now who I did a story on their daughter and pretty much going through something similar that you went through, especially dealing with the CPS. Their daughter was going through some stuff and they tried to call CPS and did the same thing they did to you. You know, they kept calling. I think they did go out there, but they kept saying that they didn't find anything. And now that the child is gone, you know,
Yeah.
so I just thought about that. She's in my chat room right now, and I did her story, and the same I did to you. I talked to her as well, and and they just said now, Chris, you can report 1,000,000 times, and they will not hear you until the death. Even they, yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was you,
and like I said, Andre got hit by a car July 4th. I had been calling CPS ever since July 5th. The last phone call I made to CPS was August 18th because I was concerned about Andre and Aston. Pretty much all my kids, you know, their physical well-being, their mental well-being. You know, it's just no balance. There's no structure. And like I said, my mama, she feed that gambling demon. So for my kids. So if my kids stealing, it's because they granny and their guardian is stealing from them.
And K Williams, long time. She saying your mom should be at least charged with negligence. I think so too.
I told police that when Andre got hit by the car and they refused because this is what the police said, and I quote, Andre was in the neighborhood when he got hit by a car, not on the other side of town.
What the hell?
Exactly. I said it don't fucking matter if he was goddamn at the 5th step. Wasn't nobody watching him.
Oh, Jesus. Let me ask you this. How's Ashton doing as we speak now? How's he doing?
I don't know because the guardian, she didn't let me see him. Like I said, I just made it back to Atlanta Monday. I sat in Milwaukee like a duck trying to see my baby, and she would not let me see him. I don't know. And I haven't talked to him since I've been back home. I keep trying to get, you know, my kids to put him on the phone. They keep saying he out, he gone, he sleep.
So wait a minute. Even after all this, they still not letting you in like that?
Nope. And last time I talked to Aston, I was in Milwaukee. This is when his father was getting ready to leave, you know, because it was right after Andre's funeral. So I talked to him that Monday, the 30th. You know, he was going into detail about what him and his brother experienced. Then the phone hung up. Then I didn't talk to him again until right before the funeral. But it was in third party because he was telling my mom he didn't want to go. But I could feel it. It was just her saying he couldn't go. So I talked to him the 30th, and then I talked to him again after the funeral. And, you know, he was talking to me and his dad. And I could just see my child just completely out of it. You know, he was spaced out. They over there just trying to keep him distracted with the video game. You know, it's sad. You know, he's still sitting in that house. Him and his brother was just trying to get away from him. I don't know how when I didn't hug my baby. I didn't kiss him, see his wounds, nothing.
Wow.
So, like I said, the last time I saw him and Andre was August 5th. And they both jumped in my car. I was like, go, Mom, go, please.
You know, that's why I be telling people, you know, with these children nowadays, we need to watch signs because they giving off a bad vibe about somebody. You might need to pay attention to that vibe because they trying to tell you something. I know a lot of people blow it off, but if children give a bad vibe about something and their body language just is off, then we as people need to check on their mothers and fathers because they mean something else going on. A lot of times they probably too scared to verbally tell you what's going on, but if you look deep into what's going on, you will find what the hell is going on, you know. But unfortunately, it's just one of those situations that I guess you probably know everything that was going on. I guess till it was too late, I'm assuming, you know. So
I did.
And this, you know, and wow.
So I know exactly what kind of pain my son was in, and then for him to be killed in such a vicious, brutal way, it's like, damn, my baby was already in pain. You know what I'm saying? Just getting pulled back and forth between his granny, and then for me to do this shit, basically great granny and the granddaddy. So My mom took my baby and my daddy killed him, and his mama watched.
Watched him, and according to you, she could have helped him.
Hell yeah, she could have helped. She could have helped, but she didn't help Andre, and she could have helped Andre.
Okay.
She
Nakeda,
enjoyed it. That lady's sick. Her and her son are the fucking epitome of evil.
okay. Does Andre and Ashton has the same dad? Do they have the same?
Yes,
dad?
they do. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Sure
Okay.
do.
So whoever keep asking that question about the dad, you just heard they got the same dad.
Yes, they do. And they was both just with their dad like 2 summers ago.
Okay.
So they was with me last summer and with their dad the summer before last. So that was in like 2018.
Well, let me ask you this then, since we on that subject.
Mm-hmm.
What has he said about all this?
He fucked up. We both is.
Okay.
Both is, because we know the efforts that we've been putting in with my mom and our children, and how she blocks us and deliberately keeps our kids away from us.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's crazy as hell. Nakeda, I guess the last question I will have for you, and I want to thank you for sharing your story, but I'm also gonna put this out this too. This as a disclaimer. I tell people, whenever I bring people on the show, I can't say what you tell them is accurate. I can't say what you tell them is inaccurate. People just have to do their own research and just take it what they have to take it for what it is. So not saying that you're lying or telling the truth, but that's just how I look at things. So when people come back and say how, I'm not going to tell you how it's accurate. I'm not going to tell you that it's inaccurate. You listen to what you hear and you think it's false, then you take it. If you think that it's true, then you take it for what it is. So that's how I put it out there, So, but I guess my last question to you is, I said I don't believe this had anything to do with money. I think he did this as a revenge or something against you. How do you feel?
You goddamn right. It's family revenge all over this shit. My baby didn't take no money. He didn't.
I don't believe that either.
He didn't. I had a real bad argument with my sperm donor and his egg donor, and they couldn't handle that shit. They couldn't. And he was so mad that I cussed their ass out. He was going around my family telling people he wanted to kill me, but he couldn't. So this, you goddamn right. It didn't have nothing to do with no money. Him and his mom wanted to get revenge. And they did it with the 2 closest kids to me. Ashton and Andre been with me their whole life. Been with me in Georgia their whole life. Look at these, baby. Look at this. Do you see this? Do you see
I saw that on your Facebook page. That's a beautiful picture. That's a beautiful picture, yo.
That's all we do is go out, take pictures, get cute, travel, have fun, all that.
Wow.
Look at that. So, yeah. It's a lot, but
Okay. Well, again, Nakeda, I wish there's some words I could say to fix it, but unfortunately, words can't fix this. Even money can't fix this. Nothing can fix it.
Doing Wisconsin is not gonna bring Andre back.
Yeah.
Family is not gonna bring my son back, because at the end of the day, my child cause of death was family.
Yeah.
Family. His guardian didn't want to supervise him. She allowed him to go over there. My child probably wasn't even there a good 6 to 8 hours before he just started getting beat to death. And he called and said something was wrong. Andre made his last call the night of August 28th. You think if he would have called me, that him and Ashton would have still been there the rest of that night? Hell no. So all the adults that are involved, the guardian, the auntie, the granddaddy, the great grandma, they all need some type of systematic justice for Andre's death, period. They do. They do. My baby blood is on so many people's hands in Milwaukee, that shit ain't even funny. It is. CPS, Children's Court, the police, the auntie, my mama, her baby daddy, his mama.
Well, Nakeda, I thank you for your time, and I thank you all for sharing your story.
I appreciate you.
I can only imagine what you're going through and the shit that you have been going through, dealing with a toxic family. And again, you got a lot of people that's dealing with that. And it seems like now it's leading to the death of their children. Instead of talking it out or get some kind of therapy or something, it's leading to killing somebody's child. And I always have say, when somebody wants you, they can't get you. They're gonna get the thing that you love, and usually it's your children. And that's what your daddy did to you. You know, he got your child, and
He couldn't just tell the police, oh, she cussed out me and my mom. Of course, he had to make it seem like my baby stole from him to justify what the fuck he did to my kid. Like, nah, it ain't no excuse. I don't care if Andre took $10,000. That don't cause for him to be killed how he was. Or even he should have just called somebody. Hey, come get him.
Yeah, Nakeda, this whole thing sounded like it was planned.
It was.
I promise you, it sounded like it was planned.
I believe it too. And, you know, just in my heart, you know, I just hope that the truth come out. Like I said, hopefully through Andre's death, everything will be exposed. And, you know, I just want to tell you again how appreciative I am of you and your listeners for even taking the interest and the time to share Andre's story. You know, it's people like you that's helping him get justice. And you know, it ain't nobody to blame but these grown-ups in Milwaukee, these adults.
Hey, no problem.
My grandma started hitting on Andre Aston in Georgia, and she was hitting him with her cane. I got proof she was hitting my kids with her cane. It just blows my fucking mind that when the detectives was over there pulling the weapons or whatever the hell he was hitting my child out the house, one of the items was a cane.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga ain't gonna tell the police, oh yeah, my mom was hitting them with her cane. You know, I can't get stuck on, you know, these things unless they're actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a mother, and because I've known these retarded ass, evil, bitter people my whole life, I could kind of put two and two together real good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Nakeda, dear, I'm trying to find the words, but unfortunately, I can't. You know, I had to sit back and soak all this in and like, what the hell, you know?
Especially when my baby was just begging to come home. When Andre told me happy birthday, August 28th, he made sure he said, Mom, I can't wait to come home. I miss you. He didn't want to be in Milwaukee. He did not want to be at his granny house. And because him and Aston understood well how I would demonstrate through their older siblings, if they do not leave their granny's house, they could be stuck there. Just like their older siblings. Andre and Aston didn't want to be stuck there. You know, my son tried to lock in a ride home August 5th. He tried, you know, he tried to get away from that. He did. The 4th of July, tried to get away. The 5th of August, tried to get away. So literally, I seen my child July 4th and 5th, August 5th and 6th. And then I see Andre August 6th, his sister's birthday, and then see him again September 5th in the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just fucking me up, you know. This shit fucked up. Like I said, I just talked to my baby, you know. He just was begging me to come get him. You know, driving 1,600 miles is something everybody can't do. I done got used to it, so I do that shit with grace. I was not trying to get on no highway and drive to Milwaukee for my daughter's birthday, but it was the help me in Andre's voice that made me get on that highway.
Jesus Christ. Two more questions. Somebody keep asking something about a petition. Let me see what they said. Whoever keep writing about the petition, what's the petition you say? Do you have a petition, anything going on, you know, where people can go sign and try to help you in your situation? And the second question is, somebody said, do you have have you reached out to any lawyers, oh Jesus Christ, lawyers in your situation right now to regain custody?
I do have a lawyer that is representing me and assisting me with the legal process to get my kids home.
All right.
And I'm very grateful that one of the listeners mentioned something about a petition, because this is happening to moms like me and kids like Andre, you know. So we all right now be in my baby village. The family ain't doing it. The family the reason why he gone. So I would just be so grateful, if you could go ahead and get that ball rolling, because by you doing the petition, you're helping Andre get justice.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm working to get Andre's law written into a bill so that hopefully it can become a law. And my hope is that it will help protect parents like me and children like Andre, so that if there has been a history of, fighting in court and there's more than 2-3 CPS call tops, they have to go and remove the kids. Because like I said, I've been calling CPS every week since Andre got hit by a car and all year, just because collectively my kids been going through a lot of questionable, interesting things in their guardian house. So had they removed my baby in July, he probably could still been here.
Right. I don't know anything about starting no petition, but I got a couple of people I may could talk to that may know how, especially the one who in the chat room that I did her daughter's story. She's told me to show you information. I will pass on the information to you.
Yeah, I think it's change.org, because I was actually supporting petitions when I saw the young man that got shot by the police in Minnesota because of the air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror.
I ain't hear about that one.
Yeah, so I saw, petitions, about that death, and I seen it on change.org, because I just been so hurt by, what's happening to my kids. I don't give a damn about the family, because it's about the kids. It's not about these goddamn grown-ups. So I'm just really shaken, and I'm so bothered by what's been, happening to my children. Like I said, I literally just got back to Georgia Monday. I had a balloon release for Andre Wednesday to mark 30 days of his death.
Yeah, because I said, it's so that I did this story a month ago. I was like, damn, it's been that long already? A month? Already been a month. One more question. Somebody said something about a local politician. Have you been speaking to a local politician that may help you out in your situation?
Well, I am working with community activists. I'm sure that he has, a way to tap these politicians on the shoulder.
Gotcha.
I am in Georgia, so I'm doing as much footwork as I can here. And then, ultimately, because everything surrounding the child was in Wisconsin, majority of it would have to, kind of be done there.
Gotcha.
Because then I still have children there, and then that's where my child was killed.
Okay.
But one good thing that has so far come out of this is just the support from social media.
Well,
It's people like you and the other, YouTubers and people like my friend Homer Blow. It's just people in the community that's pouring out, with this love and attention to share Andre's story.
Well, I am happy to be one of the ones to share his story. And somebody just said they shared this to Twitter. So you got people already trying to help, sharing this show out right here. So I'm gonna get with some people. I'm gonna give you the information of the lady who's in my chat room right now, who child I did her story on, because I promise you, y'all stories sound similar, so similar.
Because it's the same thing somewhere else. It's the same thing. A different mom, a different kid, different city, I'm
gonna link y'all two up together, and if she can get the petition started, then I would do my duties and share it out and let people go and sign it, and hopefully this will help, in your situation or whatnot. But Nakeda,
ACP has agreed to putting in writing that they also are willing to stand behind Andre and get his story out there.
All right.
I'm sure if, anybody wanted to send something to the Milwaukee chapter of the NAACP, they would receive it and kind of attach it to, what we kind of done started.
Okay. Not a problem. Well, dear, you have my contact information. Any updates, anything, don't hesitate to hit me up. And if justice for Andre Smith.
Right. Long live my baby. I appreciate everyone. And I know Andre will be really happy that everybody's speaking up for him.
Yes, ma'am. Well, dear, try to get you some rest. Cause I know one time you texted me, said it's kind of hard for you to sleep, and I can imagine because of not to compare your child to my grandmother, but when you got somebody that you're real close to that you love, when they pass away, sometimes it is hard to get some rest because you just can't believe that they gone, especially the way that they died. So, I know how you feeling on that aspect, but I don't have any kids, so I can only imagine how you feeling losing a child. I can imagine how anybody feels. So, dear, try to get you some rest and you keep fighting.
Thank you.
All right.
Keep
Well, from the Chris Thorns and people in the Chris Thorns Show chat room, we love you and keep us updated.
Thank you. I will. Peace.
All right, dear. You take care.
Thank you. You too.
All right. No problem. No problem. Whew. Man. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure to speak with Nakeda Martina, the son of ANDREZ Smith II. And it's a good thing and it's a sad thing at the same time. Because it's a good thing you want to help parents get their voices out about their children, but it's a sad thing when you hear how deep the story goes. Amen. It's a sad thing when you hear how deep the story goes. Man, crazy. That is so crazy. But anybody who knows anything about startup petitions, you got my information, y'all let me know, and I'll be more than happy to share a petition out there to help this lady get justice for her son. But at the same time, I want everybody to understand, when I do these stories, we can only go by what they tell us. I'm not gonna say that it's accurate. I'm not gonna say that it's inaccurate. But we can just only go by what is being told to us. Which I don't think in a situation like this you had no reason to lie, but because I kind of call this down the middle too. But if somebody else see this, that's part of the family. Of course, they're gonna probably come out and say she's lying, she's saying it, she's saying that. Y'all know how the shit goes. Y'all know how it goes. Let me say something real quick, because I said something earlier about a comment that I saw that I didn't really appreciate. I didn't. And the only reason I didn't appreciate that comment, because that person in my chat room, every time I do these shows where we talk about CPS and stuff, and the comments that I see them make, and for them to come in a comment and say, I don't feel like this woman fought hard enough for her children, that did something to me. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. And that's the only reason why. Because every time I do these shows, you come in my comment section, talk about what you'd have been through. And nobody never says that to you. But you come in my chat room and say that about this woman. I didn't like that shit. I really didn't. But however, I give people freedom of speech in the chat room. I don't know what made you say that or what made you think that she didn't. I don't. But apparently wherever she said, it made you think that. And for you to say that in my chat room. But I would say this to you. What if I said it about you every time you came in my chat room and saying the stuff that you said? What if I would have said to you, you always come in my chat room when I do these shows. I don't think you did nothing for your children either. You will feel some type of way too. I really didn't like that when you said that, man. I really didn't. Because many times you see me do these stories. You see or hear people what they go through dealing with the CPS. And even you said yourself a couple of times how crooked the system is. So why would you come over here and say that? Why would you say that? And you one of the main ones who come in here and say the CPS system is fucked up. You one of the main ones that say that. Why would you do that? That really pissed me off when you did that. But however, I love you. You my girl. I fucks with you. But I feel like you was out of line with that. I really do. Now, other people may not feel that way. But I'm only saying it because what you be coming to my chat room saying about your situation, that's what I'm pissed off about. Now, if you haven't never came in my chat room and said what happened with your situation, it probably wouldn't have bothered me. But considering what you say every time I do these stories, and for you to say that bother me. They really bother me. They really did. And that's why y'all look at one point, y'all saw me kept looking at the other side. I kept looking at that like, did she really just say that? Really? Did she really just say that? That's why, if y'all pay attention, I kept looking over there like, I'm just like, wow. You out of all people. But I still fuck with you though. I still fuck with you, my girl. I fuck with you though. I fuck with all of y'all. Just because I get upset with something that you said don't mean we enemies. But I feel like they weren't right. I feel like they weren't right. They weren't right at all. Somebody said something about they block. Ain't nobody block over here. I ain't block nobody. Who talking they block? I didn't block nobody. Who blocked? Yeah, I didn't block nobody, so I see somebody else saying something about they being blocked. Who blocked? Because Chris Thorne rarely blocks anybody unless you just come in there being stupid. You know, that's the only way I'll block you, but I rarely block anybody. Oh, you said not me. I thought you said I blocked somebody. So I ain't blocked nobody. Guys, I'm going to put this over on my backup channel as soon as I end this because I know it dropped me offline a couple of times. And y'all missed some important answers that she was answering to a couple of questions y'all asked. And she did answer it. So I'm going to put it over there so y'all go watch the replay without the hiccups. You know, let me see. Y'all asked about the children who still got guardianship. Alicia still do. She still do. And it's another one y'all asked. I can't remember. But when it dropped me offline, she was answering the questions. She did answer the question. That's when it dropped offline. Okay, Diddy said she talked about another channel. So anyway, I'm going to put this on my backup channel as soon as I end this. So be on the lookout on Crystal Show 2.0. They put a link in the description box. So be on the lookout for that. And you can go watch the whole thing without it dropping me offline. As a matter of fact, what's so good about that is you can scan the parts that you already listened to, you know, but I can't tell you the time steps. So you have to do a lot of scanning, you know, so, but I'm going to put it on my backup channel so everybody can see it without the hiccups. So y'all can hear everything from top to bottom. Everything from top to bottom. Again, Nakeda, thank you for coming telling your story. I hate what happened to your son, your dad. I mean, well, you admitted it, the whole family just toxic. The whole family is toxic. So you pretty much put it out there. The whole family is toxic. You know, and again, you got a lot of people that's dealing with that shit. You know, and it's sad. This is what it leads to. It leads to a lot of this shit when you have a toxic family. You know, somebody end up getting hurt. Amen. A lot of these families, if you got toxic shit going on in it, that would end up happening. Somebody end up getting hurt or somebody end up getting killed. Unfortunately, it's just sad that it happens to the children. It doesn't happen to the adults, which I'm not advocating for them to die, but it always happens to the children, all right? This big grown ass man, and that's why I said this didn't have nothing to do with no damn money. That man did that because he had something against that girl. I caught that right off top. He had something against that girl. Ain't had shit to do with no damn money. That's bullshit. And I never did believe it, not once. Never believed it, not once. All right? So, shit crazy, y'all. But anyway, though, anybody who know how to do those petitions or whatnot, somebody put my email up in it. If you get one started, please email it to me, and I will put it out there, and I will sign it, and I will put it out there for all of y'all to sign it. And because Alicia still got them kids, and she just easily giving up her kids like that because somebody flashing money in her face, then them other kids are in danger. They are in danger. All right, so let's see what we can do to help. I'm your man Chris Thorns. Thank y'all for listening, and stay tuned for more stories like these and more updates. Y'all take care of yourself and each other, and be looking out on the backup channel. I'm gonna put it up over there. All right, peace out. Love y'all.